Hey guys, my name is Derek and welcome back to my channel. Different day, same story. Package from Amazon Prime. Now, did I mention that Amazon Prime is awesome? In today's video, I am going to unbox another accessory for the GoPro Hero 9/10. Let's get on with it. So for this unboxing, I remembered to bring a knife, which is something I haven't done for a while, but I don't need one because it just tears open like this. And let's see what's inside. So this is yet another package, so it comes well packaged and protected from the rigors of mail transport. And now I'm going to stick the knife in here and try not to cut my finger off. Don't know what that is, but it's there. And this is what I've got to show you today. So photographers and videographers will tell you that one of the most important aspects of getting a good video or a good image is great light. And sometimes it's not available to us in terms of natural light because we may shoot at nighttime, we may shoot in dark rooms, we may just shoot where the quality of the light is poor. And sometimes we have to add supplementary light to our images or our video to make them pop. And hopefully this product from Amazon will help improve the quality of light when we shoot. So this is a W64 RGB. It's a portable rechargeable light which you can stick on any camera or device which has a cold shoe or a hot shoe. And it can also potentially mount on tripods and things like that, so you can use it as a standalone device. And basically it's a rechargeable light source. And in the first instance I plan on using this light on this guy. As we all know, action cameras like GoPros are not great in terms of low light. So sometimes if you're vlogging, for example, or if you're doing some indoor shooting, it is of benefit to add some good quality artificial light to the situation. This is something I picked up from Amazon. It costs $41.50 Australian with free shipping on Amazon Prime. And do you know, the great thing about Amazon Prime is not only do they deliver your product for free, I ordered this on Good Friday, which is Easter Friday, and I got it on Easter Sunday. Now both of these days are public holidays, and I was shocked to receive this from the courier on Sunday. It's absolutely ridiculous that Amazon Prime's able to deliver stuff so quickly. The thing about portable artificial light is a few things. One of the things is that it's got to provide good quality light. It needs to be rechargeable. The battery, like all gadgets, need to be able to hold their charge for extended periods. It's got to last so that you don't run out of juice when you're out shooting. It's got to have the ability to retain its charge. So if you leave it in the cabinet for a week, the battery isn't dead when you pull it out. And the other important thing is mounting option. As you can tell, with the GoPro Hero 10 by itself, there is no ability to mount a light on this thing without an accessory. So as I unbox this product, it slides out, it opens up, and inside there's a manual, and basically it gives you a whole list of information that you may want to read about later, and here it is. So it's nicely packaged with a little protective little plastic thing here, and this is it. So it's very light. It looks pretty spiffy. It's made by DigitalFoto, but let's see if there's any juice in it straight out of the box. So I'm going to press the on button, and yes there is. So it comes, oh, it's very bright. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to cover that because it's going to make me go blind. There are different settings which has different modes. So going by the instruction book, I forgot to mention one other thing, that this thing comes with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. But having a look at the instructions here, basically with this you get obviously the light which got a diffuser on it. On the sides there are additional cold shoe ports where you can theoretically attach 3 additional lights of this type, so you get a giant, much more powerful light display. There's a cold shoe on the bottom. On the back there is a USB-C charging port, there's an LCD screen, and there's the power on off button. So you can get a device like a battery pack and you can plug it in straight into the USB-C to charge this thing. So once you press this button, so it's on the display it tells you what mode you're in, it tells you how bright the light is, and here it also tells you how much battery there is left. So it's come pretty well charged, and if you short press the power button, it allows you to switch between the special effects modes which we were just on. It allows you to go to the CCT mode, and it also gives you the RGB mode. And I will just use the dimming button on the right hand side just to turn down the intensity of light. So you can see that as I turn down the intensity of light, it goes all the way down to 0. Now there's no light coming out of this thing. So in the CCT mode, it just basically allows you to adjust the temperature of the light. So you will get from warm to cold, depending on your settings of how many Kelvin there are as that changes around. And in the RGB mode, it allows you to change the color hue of the light. So if I turn that back on, you can see that the color will change somewhat as you change the RGB setting on this thing. So let's see how this works in practice. So as I said, you can actually plug your USB-C directly into this port here, and you can see on there that it's charging. Don't know how well that's focused, but you can see the battery go up and down. So that's charging. As I said before, it's not possible to fit this directly onto your GoPro if that's where you're planning on using it. So you actually need to use the media mod, which is what I have here. So I need to first remove the GoPro from the shorty stick, close the little leg things, and you need to take the battery door off. So that comes off like so. And then I'm going to insert the GoPro into the media mod. And it clicks in like that. That closes over. And now what you see is there is a cold shoe on top here for you to slide the light onto the top. So once you slide it on, there you go. So I'm going to put the shorty stick back on so that I give you an idea of what it looks like with the shorty stick on, because it's going to be hard to hold this without the shorty stick or a tripod of some description. So I'm just going to put that back on. And remember, when you put GoPro accessories on, one end of the mod has a divot for you to easily insert the screws. So that's how you work out which way to orientate these things. And remember, once again, as I said in the previous video, when you put the media mod on, you can't change the battery of your GoPro without taking the media mod off, which is a little bit of a nuisance. I don't know whether they can work out some way to get around that in future versions, but that is a little bit of a nuisance. But the good thing is they have provided a USB-C charging port on the media mod, so you don't have to fiddle with that bit. So now I'm just going to adjust this angle a bit. It gets a little bit fiddly when the media mod's on, but now you have a GoPro with the light on the top. Now the first thing I'm going to check when I have this on is that it doesn't interfere with the lens. If you use a external microphone with a dead cat thing on the front, it'll actually show up in the image because the angle of the lens is so wide. But I don't think this will be a problem, so I'm going to just switch this thing on. So I've got this thing on now. It says media mod connected. The mic is set to front. That's fine. So at the widest angle, you can probably see it from the front screen, hopefully. Can you see that? I'm looking at the back and you cannot actually see the light on the image. So that's a great start. I'm going to turn this thing on. I'm going to put it on the CCT setting, and it's just going to be normal white light. I'm going to turn the intensity up a little bit. Now when I vlog now, I don't know if you can see that very well, but now when I vlog, there's more light going to my face. And that's exactly what you want. So this is on just 13%, so I can certainly crank this right up and it'll be really bright. And that's on 61%, and if I go all the way up, it goes all the way to 100%. And that's going to be too light for me to look at. But you can see what I mean. It's actually a very good quality light. So I'm looking forward to testing this. I'm actually going to turn it off because it's making my eyes go funny. I'm actually looking forward to testing this in low light situations. So one thing that I've noticed when you've mounted this light onto the GoPro is that the shorty stick no longer stays up. You can see it's magic, it's going down by itself. It's purely because of the heft of this light and the media mods, and the shorty stick is no longer able to deal with that. So that's an issue that I'm going to have to consider, but I'm going to do that again because that's cool. Cannot hold up to the power of this light, and it's like sinking. And it stops when it hits the bottom, of course. So here is me using my Sony ZV-1, which is my regular vlogging camera, and on the side just over there I've got the LED light which is mounted actually on top of the GoPro because I just needed it as a stand. And the light is at 63% brightness. This is what it looks like. This is a very dark room. It's getting late. The sun is set. I've got no lights on in the room because you can see light's not on because it leaves a weird halo on your head when the light's on. So I've got this at 63%. Picture from what I can gather is pretty decent. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off this light. The blue is now flashing. I'm going to turn off this light. And this is the view that you're going to get with the light off. It'll be interesting for me to see what this looks like in post. Now, just to let you know, I have tried using this light outdoors. For those of you who are avid photographers, you can actually overpower the sun if you have an adequately powerful light source, like using a Pro Photo or something like that. And the situations where that's important is when you've got a lot of mottling in your photo. So if you're standing and there's for example, a tree between the subject and the sun, and you get leaves all over your face like this, if your light is bright enough, you can overpower that and get rid of all the shadows. And this is one of the scenarios which is a cinematographer or a photographer's nightmare, and that's like dappled light. So the sun is shining through there, through the trees, and it's leaving shadows all through my face. I'm going to see if I can overpower the sun with this LED light. So that's me without the light on, and this is me with the light at 100%. So I feel like it's not strong enough to overpower the sun. I'm going to check this out when I edit this video and see whether it makes any difference at all. Artificial light is also really useful outdoors when you're shooting in backlight, because what you need to do is you don't want to blow out the background necessarily just to light up the face. And that's what's going to happen if you meter for the face when you're backlit. The other thing I love to do when I am doing wedding photography or portrait photography is high speed sync. So basically you're just adding light to the face. This light is not powerful enough to do any of those things, just let me tell you. At 100% outside in full sun, and it makes zero, it makes zero difference, purely because this light isn't strong enough. Now notice with this light now, I've got it on a very warm candlelight setting, so it looks like I'm glowing orange, and it actually makes my face look really weird, but that's the candlelight effect. And now this is supposed to look like a crime scene, so if you watch Chicago Fire, this might be what it looks like, because I've got it now on the police siren setting. So now it's back down to 54% just on normal light. Now I'm just going to move the light around. So this would be as if the light is on top of the camera. This is off to one side, so it's about 30 degrees off camera. And this is the position that ideally you want to shoot from, because especially with flash photography, you're going to get a lot of red eye, and you're not going to get that if the flash is mounted off camera. Now this is my favorite. This is horror lighting. And one thing you need to be careful of is with any artificial lighting is that when you've got a light like this, you're going to be casting shadows. So behind me there's a shadow. That's obviously because my head is blocking the light. If I move my head, the shadow goes. If my head's there, the shadow is still there. So all in all, the good thing about this LED light is it's allowing me to shoot this video in pretty much darkness and relying just on this LED light, and it's giving me a pretty crisp image from what I can tell from the viewfinder, and I will check once again in post just to make sure that is the case. But it allows you to have much more options, especially when you're going to be doing shots potentially like on a device with a really small sensor like a GoPro or a smartphone. Have you ever seen those shots where you're kind of filming on those devices and it's grainy as anything and you can barely see yourself because it's so dark, and the sensor's doing everything it possibly can just to get you an image, but it's nothing like what you want? So just as a way to demonstrate, this is my iPhone 12 and it's shooting with the only light is the light in the room, which is hardly any, and then I'm going to shoot again, and I don't know how grainy this video is going to be, but it looks pretty awful, and I'm not going to switch this light on. And does it make any difference? Does it actually make the video more usable? And does it help the phone focus better? Having a light like this might be the solution to that problem. So in actual fact, I'm kind of liking this light. I know that I'm not going to be using it in a lot of situations, but there may just be situations where it would become handy. And the other thing is, it actually acts as a potential flashlight. So if you need to go outside in the dark, and that's what I did with my rotor light one time when we had a blackout, is that was the only thing that I had that was charged, and I just used my rotor light to walk around the house when we didn't have any power. And you could do the same with this. So that's kind of about it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review of this light that I bought from Amazon. It is actually going to be quite useful for certain circumstances. I don't know, it just feels like it helps to make your vlogging kit complete. Light is one of the most important aspects of any cinematography or photography for that matter. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you've used a light like this. And until next time, please remember to subscribe to my channel if you like it, and I'll catch you next time in another video. See ya. So to demonstrate the effect of the light on this GoPro Hero 10, here's a picture of me with backlit conditions with no light on. And this is me with the light on at 11%. And this is me inside our pantry with no lights on. And this is me in the same place with the light on.